Hello, everybody. My name is Karan, and welcome to the Steaming Cup Podcast. I'm joined here with my two best friends, Harry and Tirath.
What's up, guys?
Hey, my name is Tirath, the guy who just spoke in front of me, or before me, behind me.
Harry, that was
Around
terrible.
me.
That's not how the intro is supposed to be. I'm Tirath. You're not Tirath.
Yeah.
You impersonator.
So,
Fake news. Fake news.
we just wanted to let you know that we are your morning podcast. You are walking around doing the dishes. I don't know why you would be walking around doing dishes. You're sitting down and folding laundry. You're going to your work. You're right next to the guy who's masturbating at Subway. All I want you to do is not focus on that dude. Focus on our podcast.
All right, guys. Let's just get started.
Yeah. All right, dude. What you got for us, man? So we pretty much bring up topics. Like, we have some written down, and I just sometimes like to just go on top of my head. But let's just start with the guy who has structure, has a pen, notepad, paper, lawyer, my friend. Not an actual lawyer. That's not legal advice.
I'm sorry. I was the only one prepared, guys.
Yeah.
Again, this is our first podcast, and I was the only one prepared.
Right.
How about that? That's the kind of friends I have. But
I mean, nobody's giving you a cookie, bub.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
that's okay.
Do you have a cookie?
dude, I'm starving.
You know, throughout this podcast, I feel like you guys are going to get to know us a little better. Right. So just that comment Gunnar made about having a cookie, that's him. He wants a cookie
He's a
all
fat
the time.
ass. No,
Yeah.
he's just big as fuck, man. Like, imagine Thor
That's him. He's always in the gym.
and eating.
And eating.
And just
That's
like
all he
happy-go-lucky and fighting for what's right. And with the Avengers, that's what Karan does. That's his everyday.
You know, he's very, very, very loyal and ethical, I would say.
Like a dog.
He's got morals.
You like I know where this is going.
So I'm glad he figured this out.
Because we were just not gonna.
I literally started thinking about the cookies, but then I was like, I can't eat till 12 because I'm doing intermittent fasting. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, he does, crazy
like,
diets.
Yeah, like
and,
he won't eat all the time, but then he'll eat sometime.
Wow.
I guess like all of us.
But that's him. That's him. We'll talk about Harry and myself a little later, but
No,
that's
we
Gunnar
won't.
for you. So hey guys, I want to get started. With a topic because I saw the new Mustang yesterday. The Mustang SUV. What's it called, Harry?
It's okay, man.
The electric one. I don't know what it's called, but I've seen it. It's hot. Like, it looks good. I used to not like electric cars, man, but now, like, especially with the Tesla, man. Tesla has pretty much it's the iPhone of electric cars. Like,
Pretty
you'll
much.
get a good product. Like, I don't even like iPhones that much though. Guys, I'll put the link in the show notes.
Oh,
for
it
the
kind of looks
picture.
like a Lamborghini SUV from the side.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they all kind of look like a
Yeah.
sports car, which is like, you guys remember the cars from the 30s, which
Yeah.
just look like smaller cars, but they were
I wasn't
just
alive
bigger.
then, but yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
I mean, like, that's true. But the cars, like, in the 30s had like a huge coach in the back, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then, but their sports cars look the same. You just add
Oh,
like
man,
a
look at
bigger,
that
like,
beauty. That's a nasty car.
yeah, I'll put all of this in the show notes so you guys know what we're looking at here. But yeah, like having, it's just a bigger coach with the same engine. Like, they
Right.
just put more people in.
Mm.
And that's pretty much what they're doing with electric cars. And that's good with electric cars because you need a place to store the battery.
Well, the thing about the car, the Ford, what's it called? The Mach E? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I mean, it's a concept right now, right?
It's a concept,
Like,
but it's gonna really give Tesla a little challenge.
yeah, even GM is coming out with their electric
But I
trucks.
feel like that was his whole motive.
Yeah,
like
he-
Elon,
he-
Elon Musk,
mhm.
like that's what he wanted. You know, he'd like to encourage all the other car companies to go into the electric car business.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so be more environment. Like, you know,
Isn't it true he didn't even patent his idea?
he had them, but then he just released.
He
it to-
released the
yeah,
patent.
Yeah,
yeah.
At least that's a good namesake, like for Tesla, because Tesla didn't patent his stuff. Like,
Right.
Mhm.
You know, Tesla was trying to give away electricity through the air.
Yeah, what?
How
I
would
know,
that
dude.
work?
Yeah, hey man, I'm not Nikola Tesla. All I know is he was trying to do that through the air, like Wi-Fi, but for electricity.
That's pretty cool.
Like,
Would we get electrocuted all
Like,
the
we
time?
get fucking-
Right?
like Thor's thunderstorm in the room.
Anyway, the 0 to 60 time in this is supposed to be under 3 seconds. It's supposed
Yeah,
to be
the great thing about electric
That's-
motors
I
are
think that-
like
but
no
isn't that like-
delays.
yeah.
Like,
No
you pretty
delays.
much
All
get the
electric
power
cars.
right there. So, but the thing you miss, like like, I don't know if you guys know this by now. Our first topic is the car, so we're definitely like gearheads. But you do miss the noise. You know, there's no rumble. Where's that weird rumble at?
So that's my topic.
That's not a tiger, bro. You might as well say meow.
He also likes to make weird noises. That's another little bit about
like, you know, like a dog.
He's unique. Unique character. Anyways,
he's not a person. He's more than a person.
He's a cartoon. That's what he is.
Never be a character.
I'm just a guy.
A lonely guy.
A lonely guy.
No, he's not lonely.
Yeah, I'm definitely lonely, guys. Come on.
He's in a committed relationship.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right.
I'm the only one without a committed relationship.
Harry's lonely.
And that's okay, Harry.
No, dude.
You know, that is okay.
No, I'm just
Live
really
your freedom.
hard to love.
All right.
Well, Tier's kind of concerned for me, man.
Yeah,
he just
whatever. We'll find some interesting things out by each other in this podcast. But let's go back to topic here real quick. So my question to you guys is, what do you think about electric cars? Do you think they really are the future, right? And again, guys, keep in mind that we're just some normal guys sitting at a bar just having, discussions. So just follow along with us. What do you guys think?
So we're at a bar in the morning, guys. I just want to let you know we're that kind of folks. Yeah, Karan, I really like to listen to what you have to say.
Man, I think it is. The electric cars are the future, like Tesla. They've started a revolution, just like iPhones, like when they first came out, they're the only of their kind, and they were expensive. And no one was in competition.
They're still fucking very expensive. Fuck the iPhone.
Well, every other, but you can there's still some cheap phones you can get, that's just about standard, you want to have a good phone. You're willing to spend $800, but you can still get like a normal, $200-$300 phone that does the same thing as an iPhone or like a Samsung, like an $800 phone does.
Right. But I mean, those Samsungs won't exist if it wasn't for the iPhone.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm pretty sure they've talked about it, like how they pretty much just stole, like Steve Jobs used to talk about how they just stole his idea. Which, I mean, that's fair, but I think it made Apple better.
Yep. They had to work harder and better to be on the top, to where they are today,
Guys, electric cars isn't anything new. They've actually been around for a long time. In fact,
80s, 60s,
80s,
like these,
right?
Like
they've been around for a long time.
They've tried it, but the thing is battery technology. I think we're getting way better battery technology, probably because of our cell phones, I'm assuming. Because, dude, the better batteries, dude, there was some Indian girl who won at a science fair that she made like a very small battery. If I do find it, guys, I'll put the story in the show notes and you guys can look her up. But dude, it's supposed to revolutionize batteries. Like right now, what they put in cars are pretty much laptop batteries. And laptop batteries aren't like the best. We all know that.
Well, they weigh a lot.
Yeah, the weight is also another thing.
And
space.
You can't get them exposed to water.
Yep,
that's another problem.
Yeah, because they catch fire. I mean, you gotta give at least like gasoline burns, but I guess at least you can put that out. It's very hard to put electric car fires out because they just keep starting because the battery acid just keeps leaking.
And another issue about it is the charge time. Right, it's not as time efficient to go to a gas station, fill up your gas tank. It takes a matter of minutes, whereas batteries, it's going to take a long time. It's gonna
even with the Tesla supercharger, what is it, like 30 minutes?
No idea.
I'm pretty sure it's 30
We're not professionals on electric cars, but
I am. No.
But all these things that you guys are talking about, I think, it takes a long time and all that, but that's with anything that comes new. There's always going to be complication, but as time passes, there's more competition. All these things improve, at least what I think, imagine when the first iPhone came out and you compare it to the one that, that's out right now. Look at in just 10 years, the difference is amazing.
It's insane how...
Insane. The camera quality.
You guys think aliens did that? You think we have some alien technology? Just gonna throw that out there.
Is that us going into our next topic? Is that... are we going to be talking about aliens next?
So, Harry's obsessed about aliens.
Obsessed. I believe in aliens as
Shout out to Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, man. Joe Rogan and Mr. Bob Lazar.
He's my inspiration to actually doing this podcast, by the way.
I think
so if he wants to sponsor us, hey, Joe Rogan.
if you think we're funny, actually, please don't look it up right now. Just give us a year or so. Let us polish ourselves
fine.
up.
We're polished. Forget a year. Year's too long. We're polished now.
Give us money
Joe.
now.
We're polished now. We're polished absolutely now.
Yeah, well, I didn't used to believe in aliens, but then I saw this
Wait,
documentary.
you never used to believe in aliens? You
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
we were alone in this world?
Yeah. Like I thought that life is so complicated, that it's so difficult for humans to exist. And I was also kind of religious when I was younger, so it's probably that I was like, thinking that we're special. Like, I mean, we are special. We're technically stardust. Shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He believes in God, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you can ask him about his religious when we have him on. We will have him on, guys.
Exactly.
We have so much pull. We're gonna get the Hayden Planetarium's director
But that's
down to
interesting.
our fucking dining room.
You never like actually used to believe in aliens, like
yeah. I thought it was just a cartoon shit, like like Cartoon Network, Courage the Cowardly.
I don't know. I always knew, like, for some reason, like we weren't alone in this world. Looking up in like night sky, and like, how the fuck could we be alone in this world? But then again, I still don't believe. I can't say like there are aliens until I see them. I mean, I know they're aliens, but I gotta see them still. I can't just oh, we've been visited by aliens. I gotta see them. I just can't.
Don't you think if we were visited by aliens, they would try to take us over by now?
No.
When humans go look at chimps, they just want to observe. They just want to make notes. They don't want to fuck with their habitat. So maybe that's what we are. We're just fucking lab rats. And like these, I don't know, God. Like, I definitely think we're in a simulation, at least. Like, if there is a God, like that was one of your topics, right? You wanted to talk about God versus science. So if there is a God, I think that God is the dude who turned the computer on for us to be. Like, that Big Bang was the computer being turned on.
My definition of God is a little different, but I understand what you're saying, right? I'm not a hardhead on one certain method. I believe I can, I'm open to change, but I do believe, this is again my opinion, that God's more of a spirit.
I think this is somebody else's opinion through you. I think this is the Holy Ghost talking, buddy.
Hold on.
Nope, just my opinion.
Even about like aliens taking over, I feel like you're coming from a point of view like, this is also a culture.
Like, this is what we do.
Because all alien movies, most of them, what do they do? Every time they come to Earth, they're taking over the United States. Nobody.
It's always the U.S.
It's always the
Man,
fucking
Why
US.
is it always the U.S.?
We're important, dude. We've
America,
got their alien shit. Like, we've got.
We got hot dogs and burgers.
Hey, man, we have everything here. Okay, this is the melting pot. We have Chinese food.
Because there are other possibilities. Maybe they are here. They just don't want to interfere. They just want to live in peace. Or like Harry said, they just want to observe us. Look at these fucking idiot chumps.
Like, look at that. They'll just kill each other for no reason. Isn't this entertaining? We're just on their National Geographic.
That's one way of looking at it. That's
and
really
today's
interesting.
edition of Planet Earth. Look at these chimps.
Yeah.
These three idiots just trying to start a podcast.
Like, they think they got the right and shit.
Well, when we think about visiting other planets,
Yeah.
right? When we think about colonizing Mars, for example,
Sure.
why do we think that way? We think that way because we think someday Earth is not going to be, a resource for us. We're going to have to start. Our population's growing. We're running out of resources, right? So let's take over another planet. In my head, I'm thinking if aliens visit us, it's going to be let's take over Earth, right? Maybe who knows what the population of their planet is? Who knows what kind of resources they're running out of? Why wouldn't they want our resources?
Right.
But then I think like there's another possibilities that they already have resources. They're fine. You're just looking from one side of the possibility. Sure. And again, I feel like it's more of like a cultural influence when it comes to that. They could be also coming from a healthy planet. They're just exploring. Oh, look, this is blue planet. Oh, look, the fucking idiots living there. We don't want to be part of them.
Even when you talk about chimps and zoo environments, right? We've taken
not zoo. I mean, even in the wild, man.
Sure, but we've messed up with their environment. We fucked up their environment, have we not?
Yeah.
Why haven't they fucked up our environment yet? Is my question.
The aliens?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about. I definitely forgot what I was talking about.
Well, you were saying that, hey, maybe they're just observing us.
No,
Maybe
man, I think it's not your cultural thing. Like how Karan is saying that it's like because of movies and stuff. It's what we have done, Karan.
True.
It's a look into our own selves, like as humans. Like humans conquer. Humans conquer and pillage and plunder, sometimes for a reason, sometimes for no reason at all.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan comes to mind just by the name of plunder, and that's how good he was at it. Did he play Total War? Yes.
We're all history geeks, by the way, too. So
Yeah,
you may
we
get
do
those
like
wrong.
all this
Amateurs.
history. Yeah. I mean, we're geeks.
We're
right?
geeks.
Like, so
we might be
we-
amateurs
like-
as far as how much we know,
Yeah,
but
so
we're
in this-
definitely geeks.
in the sense that we're geeks, like we care, but we're not really looking up and doing like research. Like, I mean, if there's a crash course video online, I'll watch it. You know, shout out to the Green Brothers.
Well, I do some research.
You do.
I do. I do some research.
He does some research.
You fucking do
Yeah.
this,
You
bro.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
We're, I didn't take English either.
Wait,
So-
you never took.
You know, we met in English
Yeah.
class. Like the first
I was
time,
meaning-
semester.
the first time we ever
I was
met.
meaning
was-
when
ninth
I
grade.
could physically take English. I didn't take English. Right.
Maybe you were just doo-doo. Yeah, man, it's a look into ourselves, and that's our fear, right? Because we like to kill, we would think. But we don't just go, like, sometimes we've done that, but it's to usually hurt other humans, like how white people pretty much, well, not white people, the U.S. government pretty much put bounties on buffaloes to hurt the Indians, Native Americans who, lived on the prairie. And that is messed up, right? Because that's cruelty. How do you say that? Cruelty. That's that bad shit you do to animals, dog. Yeah, man. Like, so it's just we hurt each other. So I think that's where you're coming from.
Sure.
That they would annihilate us.
Yeah. We that's true. That's one way of looking.
I also
at
think it's very hard to travel across space. It's so big. Our universe is huge.
But I feel like that's only because where we have
We
gotten,
haven't
you know.
we haven't been
With our
around that
technology,
long.
I feel like you're just
Yeah.
coming to a conclusion
Sure.
where we are. Whatever we don't know what like those aliens
Right.
have. You know.
And another thing, I think when we look for life, we look for water. We look for oxygen.
Yeah.
Who knows if they drink water or
Exactly.
breathe oxygen?
I mean, that's fair. It can be. They think in Venus there might be methane-based life, and that there's like microbes living in the clouds and their stratosphere or whatever sphere.
Yeah.
Like there's some in the clouds, right? But have you guys heard about Titan? Is it Titan? There's some moon.
The
on-
moon?
on,
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about
Saturn.
it.
Saturn. Yeah,
That
one of
has,
its-
because of the gravity from Saturn, it keeps the core warm,
Yep.
and it has water
Yep.
underneath. Dude, if there's water, there's life.
There's life.
So we pretty much know that there is life in our solar system. If we can be sure that there's water there, what if we're Martians, guys? What if that like alien technology
Oh, I
they
had
talk
that
about?
theory. Yeah.
It's like the humans like fucking up Mars
Yep.
and coming here and then just restarting. And they landed in Africa, and that's how like humanity started. Or we had Homo sapiens, and they landed in like Europe or India, where we have like these mythologies. I mean, I'm sure there's African mythology which is just not known because of the bias history is written in. What if like that's why there's so many different skin colors and like how people look differently?
I don't believe that. That's not what it says in the
Yeah,
Bible.
I just go by the Bible. That's
I'm not even,
yeah.
I haven't even
If
read
you have
the
any
Bible.
science questions,
So-
just look up the Bible.
But going back to that, if that was the case, wouldn't we be so advanced in technology by now?
I mean, we are.
Well, we didn't start that way, right? Imagine if we're going to
Maybe we did, dude.
Maybe we did. Yeah.
And
That's
just
the
destroyed it?
mythologies.
There's
right? Yeah.
there's another theory, you know. Maybe we were advanced at a certain point, but then this meteorite hit us and resetted the whole fucking Earth again, you know.
Wouldn't we find proof of that though? I mean, we found proof of dinosaurs, right?
Are we looking up proof though?
I'm sure we do.
No, us three.
I'm sure-
We're not looking up any proof. We're not looking up any proof, man. Yeah, I think of course there would be proof of that. Maybe there is proof of that.
Imagine if we went to Mars,
Yeah.
right? We would bring so much technology to Mars,
Because they have none.
right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
Good point.
there's no they, right? It's not like they're Martians. We would bring so much technology, I feel like, to Mars, and that's where I don't see any technology. Like if we were Martians, right? And who knows? Maybe we are. I don't know. Where's the technology? It's so. I wish I could know everything about the universe. Don't you ever wish that? I wish when I die someday, Right.
And this is, folks, why we colonize, why we take over other countries, because we want to know everything. This is the human drive, you know? Like,
I hope that, you know, I don't just die and just lay there. I hope that I get to travel the universe. I get to know what everything is.
I just want to travel out of the States, bro. I don't know about the
for sure. Somebody thinks highly of
like shit.
I mean,
He's
I
trying
want
to have
that,
like a
right?
interstellar, what was it, a coffin tour? What'd you say once I die? I want to travel space. What was that?
Well, what do you think happens when you die? You
Oh,
know?
we turn to dust.
Well, yeah, sure.
Like,
I don't know
one
what
way or
happened,
the
man.
other, dude. Like our machine shuts down and there's nothing. Like that's what
Yeah.
I believe. Like
I'd be so
electricity.
disappointed if that's the way death is.
But will
I-
you be? Because you just
Yeah,
you
you
turn into
won't
dust.
be able
There's
to
no
think.
thought
Sure,
process left.
yeah,
You're just
sure.
gone.
Yeah.
You know?
If, you
And
know,
I think that's the best way. What if like you go to heaven? What the like you're gonna live there for all eternity? Like
And then you found out,
For
like,
how long
oh, hey
you-
man, I loved my mom.
eternity
She's
forever.
she's
Yeah.
not in
I
heaven.
think I'd be sick of that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be here forever. Like,
Right.
whatever. You have the infinite power to like come up with countless like lives or whatever you want to do in heaven or whatever But
Right.
you're gonna be there for all eternity. I would go crazy.
Guys, I just want to let you know, he's talking about heaven. We haven't even come to purgatory or hell. Like,
I don't mess with that, bro.
like, imagine
My
being-
stars are looking
being-
good.
Imagine being in hell for eternity. If you think eternity's long in heaven,
Oh,
like I'm
shit.
sure it's fucking hell.
all right, guys, enough of this bullshit.
And that concludes our episode for today, guys. Thank you for joining us at this Teaming Cup podcast. Myself, Karan.
I'm Tirith, guys, like you heard at the beginning of the podcast. But if you enjoyed this podcast and want more, please subscribe to it. We'll keep putting out great material. If you have any suggestions, please leave them below. Harry, you got anything to add to that?
Just subscribe and keep listening. Tell your friends how dumb we are and how funny we are.
And how smart we are.
Yeah, the smart part, I
I have an
don't really care
MBBS and
about.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's more.
I have a PhD.
It's likely that they will come listen to idiots. I don't know. Like,
That makes
all
sense.
right, guys, see ya.
But as long as I put a smile on somebody's face, please do join.
Wow, too beautiful.
Beautiful, man. Just like my smile.
Hey,
Hey.
and we'll be back with more episodes.